Scan into its eyes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Are we all set?
Yeah, I think so.
Recording?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
Review agenda for additions, removals, or adjustments. Does anybody have anything? See anything here that needs to change?
You're in charge.
Yeah, we're good. Public forum, opportunity for citizens who are not on the agenda to briefly share comments or concerns. Ready? What? We're moving right along. Department head roundtable. Public works. That would be you.
We're just continuing working on a grant on the median road. Put the culvert in today. We got some stoning left to do to finish it up. And then we're getting around grading the dirt roads up now so we can get a lot easier to mow them after they grade, get it shaped up and graded. So that way the next time it's got a chance to rot down before he goes back and regrades again. So tomorrow, I want to have somebody go up on Meehan Road, start mowing, and he's going to continue on grading to try to get around them. We got to fix track 4. We bring that whole dog's back tailgate is weak or something. Well, you know, the pop open, so I got to go get a new spring up to Viking tomorrow. Change that.
Spring or here soon?
Spring. The diaphragm pushes the gate open, dog open. The spring pulls it back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. Your report.
Church week done.
Okay.
No, you haven't seen any problems with all the rain.
Not in sync because I don't think it's. But not as of yet. We had to shower. About halfway through, I went around checking roads, and we were all good at that point. I didn't go around this last one that came through. I plan on doing that in the morning. I got no calls. I would have got calls by now.
Okay. We didn't get hit as hard as like Meadow does. It looked like a slam.
Down mid southern. Yeah, something that hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Last one, you guys.
something they got some skin.
We got lucky.
Good.
Is
Fire and
anybody Bruce or?
No.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
So that was just Frida. She was on and then.
Just Frida, that's not very nice.
I'm saying she was already in. But it's not Bruce or
Not Bruce or-
Brett.
All right. Special event and street use permit for Green Mountain. Approval of curb cut application for 430 Meehan Road. Approval of past meeting minutes for 6:23 and 6:30. And authorize warrants and liquor tobacco license.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Are there any liquor or tobacco license? No.
You second?
Yeah.
All right, special event, Green Mountain Stage Race. I see Gary's on. You don't know what it is.
Oh, I thought this was different. This is a different one.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
We are.
Sorry, I'm coming to you from Paris, France this evening, so it's about a 6-hour time.
Your call frequency.
Sorry, keep going.
Sorry, I'm trying. It's a little hard to hear you. I'm just trying to enable the video here. Let's see. Hopefully it'll work. There we go. Okay. Can you see me now?
We can't
Nope.
see you, but it's okay. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, great.
There you
So
are.
We can see you.
all right, I'm sorry. I'm a little sleepy here. So coming to ask about having the Green Mountain Stage Race come through town once again this year. The race is August 31st, so Sunday, August 31st. And our plan is the same route as we've used the last number of years, which at least as far as I know, there haven't been any complaints or concerns about it. I sent the insurance certificate, and I'll once again work with the police chief for coverage at the intersection in town. All the fields will be led by state police or sheriffs, and we'll have officials with each race. Trying to think what else I can tell you. There'll be 9 fields in total, and they'll be starting at Mount Ellen at about 8 o'clock. And they should all be through town relatively quickly. The faster fields go later, so they sort of catch up to the slower fields. So it should be relatively compact coming through town. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Are you still gonna, they still gonna have the stage at the Memorial Park for the water and that?
I'm hoping to, yes. I mean, I've worked with the high school cross-country team, and that's worked out really well. And I know they've also helped in town in the past as well.
Okay.
Gary,
Yes.
sometimes you come up 116, sometimes you come over the Notch Road. Are you going the Notch Road or 116 this year?
No, we will just be staying on 116. There were some concerns or complaints raised in the past, so I don't know if the same resident is on that route. I think I like that route. It was fun to have some gravel on the course and an extra climb. We had a KOM up there, but there were some neighbors of where the KOM was who took to abusing some of the volunteers that were out there, and they let me know that they weren't interested in volunteering again as a result of the words that were shared with them. So we've moved away from that the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I think.
But you're coming up 116 to Hewitt Road and up South Street. You're not
Right,
coming up.
that's correct. Yes.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So you're
Yeah.
not getting that long coming over West Street through the lake,
No,
getting
no,
that
no.
speed.
No,
You're
not
coming
at all.
south.
We did that one time when the South Street Bridge was being
Yes.
repaired. That was quite a while ago, but we haven't done
Yeah.
it since. The issue there was the hill into town was slowed people down quite a bit, but then they got a good head of steam up coming through town. So continuing to go up South Street and making the right hand turn keeps the speed down quite a bit.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. All right, any questions on the curb cut? That's for Lathrop's on Meehan Road.
You're all set with that, Eric? I mean, fine, actually, no.
Yeah.
And meeting minutes, you've already made your corrections.
There weren't any.
Good.
Awesome. All right.
AI is good.
Are you guys all set with me?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good. Thank you very
We
much
haven't
then.
voted yet, but we're gonna vote, we consent agenda, they're all lumped together, there were 5 things, I just finished them out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And now no, that's fine, and now we're gonna vote on it, and as soon as we vote, you'll know whether you're good to go or not.
Okay, well, again, happy to answer any questions, so I'll stay on for that. Thank you.
I think you answered them all. Any further questions on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried, you're good to go.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate being early in the agenda.
Paddle away, take a
All right.
nap.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Public hearing, water and sewer annual meeting.
Yeah, don't ask me to share screen and documents because I got nothing.
Believe.
You got hard copies.
Yes,
Oh, my Lord. Stop the presses.
there's somebody. I don't know how many I got, if I.
mean,
just get a
they were-
Copy for me, or.
I think it's just a hard copy for you. I mean, I saw it online, but
Yeah,
Look over your shoulder.
no, I don't think we need more, Chris.
sure?
We-
Yeah.
well,
I'll just look
Doesn't
over.
I think Joel wants one.
Well, he can have it after you're done.
just steal that for 2 seconds, I'm just gonna make copies of this.
We can share. Just make one copy, Chris.
When does our new town administrator start?
Monday the 28th, I think it is, that's what you know. That's a rule.
July, right?
This is rumor?
Good.
And we're gonna. I asked them about before they divvy up the buses, the short bus, this. Thought you'd have a grand tour of the town, you, Eric, he was gonna get with you. And,
Yeah, once he's here. so-
once he's here a couple weeks, probably that second full week of August. Or the third week of August. It'll be somewhere between
Don't go
11.
too much farther than that because I'll be gone.
I was gonna say, when are you running?
I run at the end of this month and then the end of next month. Unless I don't let me back in from Canada.
We can make a
Oh,
few-
you're going up through
Canada.
Canada?
Yeah.
we can make a few phone calls.
She's a troublemaker, hold her at the border.
Yeah,
All right, so what's your pleasure? Start with the sewer?
yeah, that's the easier one.
All right. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So I'm assuming his note is that they're gonna create a new rate.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, we don't know what that is yet, but,
no,
okay.
so. You got your,
The allocation, miscellaneous allocation revenue, that was the stuff about the grease trap cleaning stuff, right? That got put in there. We were talking about that.
Okay.
what line are you on?
I don't know. Just
Miscellaneous
say,
stuff.
there's no numbers. Do you remember? Is that what the grease trap
That's the money
fees
coming
that
back in
comes
from,
back in? Is that where it gets put?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's also, we have a couple line extensions that people are paying on,
okay,
and then the Lawrence Lane one,
Some sewer, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on sewer.
we're on sewer, yeah,
It's like shifters check.
Right, it's that.
yeah, okay.
Okay, everything else sucks.
Other things, yeah.
so our budgeted revenue is $60,240 and our total expenditures are $60,240, an increase of 4.70%.
Mhm.
Steve, have you seen this budget?
I don't know if it's Steve.
Does Steve have any?
There we go.
There you are.
Hey there, no, I have not, left the final one in front of you.
All right, well, it's pretty much the same as what we've been talking about. I'm just curious as to if there was anything you thought we might be missing that we were gonna have to do.
When I went over it last with Ian and Jill, let me say this right. I don't think so. We all pondered that for a little bit. There's always things we'd like to do, but I think everything was in there that everybody thought was critical.
Okay,
Everything else.
so if you're happy with it, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the sewer budget as printed. At $60,240.
Second,
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
I've
Opposed, nay.
take that home with you for like reading.
Motion carried. And now. I think I have an answer for the question that Joel's gonna ask, but that'll be all right. I'll wait until he asks it before I give up.
4,900% miscellaneous revenue.
I love that. You know, if it's on the revenue side, I love seeing increases like
Careful.
that. It's only when it's on the
Yeah.
expenditures part that I don't like it.
Yeah, that's a miscellaneous revenue. I think that's the.
No, he cut it out. He's got the water service connection fees cut out. What else would we get in miscellaneous revenue? That would be
Line
$5,000.
extensions, Lawrence Lane, when they redid those, they're paying us,
They are paying.
those are the big.
And would that also be Lawson Lane?
You mean Lawson Lane, not Lawrence?
Lawson Lane.
Okay,
Yeah.
you said Lawrence,
Lo-
I'm going, what did we do in Lawrence?
Lawrence Lane, that's what I was trying to figure out, Lawson Lane.
Well, where does Shelley sign, what road she live on?
It's Pleasant.
Pleasant.
Yeah. Pleasant.
Yeah, she's paying us for a line extension
Okay.
that we did there.
Okay.
Yeah, that 4,900%'s gotta be here somewhere. There's a formula that's not quite right somewhere.
Well, you never know, but okay.
Unless it's from the $100. Oh.
Well, it
from
is, it's from the
So, okay,
$100, but
Okay.
yeah.
That's
There just
right.
wasn't any
Yeah.
before, and now there
Right.
is some. But again, that's on the revenue side, so we're good with that.
So total anticipated revenues is $447,510.89. That's pretty specific. And then your expenditures,
So
obviously the same.
electricity is a lot higher.
Yeah,
Because the actual was up and we're not sure exactly what's going on. We're hoping that between the leaks and the
fixes.
Electrical changes down the soft start and that will
It'll go back down.
go back down, but that's been the actual for a couple of years, so.
And they've had a couple of rate increases, GMP has.
When I was looking at the postage, I saw
Yeah,
today that the,
they use a lot of solar down there, so that increased it a little too.
they don't do much for postage, right? Cause I was just saying, I saw the postage went up to 74 cents a
The only
stamp
thing
now.
that is key when
Yeah.
it's about the water
Water
bills.
bills,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, so
And we
That's
ended
a
up with we ended up with the actual on our income being just a little bit more than what we budgeted, so.
So the contracted services, I asked Ian about it. That is what we're paying to develop phase 1 and 2 or 2 and 3.
No, contracted services are,
Was the operating contract and then the contracted
Contractor
services.
services is when they have to hire somebody to do, to come in and
to
do.
fix the leaks.
the
Okay.
leaks and stuff. Yeah.
So where is the checks that we've been writing for BTM, Steve? Where's
he's
that?
going to a different- He's going to the east and west project. Is that even on there? No.
No,
So since they're working for us and not part of the water budget as of yet.
Yeah.
They won't become part of the water budget until we borrow the actual money. Once the monies are borrowed, then that debt is associated with, will be associated with the water department. Until then, it's part of your general fund.
So
It's like any other grant we do, we
Out
pay
of our
it
pocket
and we get.
first.
You get paid all up front.
we're using,
we're using regular taxpayer money to pay.
Well, you're gonna borrow.
Yeah, I know, but right now we're using.
Yeah.
well, that's where I'm getting at, for borrowing money right now to pay him.
Well, you will be.
We're not yet.
But we will.
Or we will, but, so then that will go as and that'll figure out into our rate paying more for water. And not the taxpayers. It's
Correct.
not, taxpayers shouldn't
At
be.
the end, once the project is complete, that debt will move into that budget. Until
Right,
then.
it'll show up just like.
Until
And then,
then,
and then everybody
It'll
can
show-
reimburse.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a standalone project.
All right, okay. That's the question I had, Pickering probably knew.
No, that's not the question. I figured the question is gonna come from the 14.99% increase.
Increase, yeah.
Mhm.
He hadn't gotten down that far
No,
yet.
no, I hadn't gotten down that far.
So I asked, when I sat down and met with Ian, we pulled the, where's the capital,
Capital Water Equipment Fund plan,
The last.
that's doubled.
that $100,000 doubled. So we pulled that,
Right.
we pulled that 50,000 out. And it's a 2.17%
That's what it is.
increase without the 50. So the actual operating budget.
Is up 2.5 or less than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what that, yeah, he explained that to me because of, because we're trying to get our debt load more so we can look better on grants.
And then
That's why I went
the,
from 50 to $100,000.
what's the other,
Yeah.
oh, the other thing the admin fee,
Right.
we've
changed the way we've done it.
we changed the way we've done it and I think, in the red there, it says,
Okay.
$16 at 977 and $23 at 680. So the 680 is the number of meters we have or the number of,
That's
Six
one-
eighty would be meters.
Yeah.
Okay,
and the,
977?
the 977 is our new formula with our
Is the number of billing units.
billing
Okay.
units.
Mhm.
So,
So one meter might be on.
so it's some,
One billing unit, servicing more than one billing unit,
a duplex where,
kind of like, KTP.
or,
45,
or
48 trailers.
Livingston's, the 12 apartments there.
Right.
There's
okay.
one meter there.
Mhm.
Yep, okay,
So,
understandable.
so at some point, we're gonna have to decide, but I think it probably looks a whole lot better if we do it per unit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it'll be, and I think it'll stay fairer through the. You know, it'll always be fair that way.
The more you use the.
So the budget then is going up almost 15%.
Right,
Because
but without,
of
because of the increase in the
Double
capital.
that capital.
It's that's what I was telling you before, it's 2.1 cents. 2.17% without. That extra 50,000, this 50,000 is in here to,
This one,
to get our debt where we need to be, so that hopefully we get forgiveness and.
it's the next stage, not the second stage, the third
That
stage.
is,
Yeah, I think it's on these two, there's two of them here. It shows you the, right at the top, the capital water up here. Well, no, it's not, right there. This was
well, that's the sewer.
Yeah. So it shows the increase up to 100,000
Oh, right.
Mhm.
This is the document that we
Yeah,
saw. in
with all the-
format,
with all the-
yeah.
scenarios. Mhm. Right.
Okay,
Control
I mean,
panel,
I don't like it, but I
anything.
understand
Well,
it.
it's-
It is what it is.
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
Unfortunately, that's a
Yeah.
statement. So I don't have a motion on this budget yet.
I'll make a motion to approve the water district budget for fiscal year 2026.
Second.
Do you want me to give you the number? 447, 510, 89.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
we don't need to go through the capital funds for this.
What's that? No.
No,
I don't believe we
this.
do.
Talking total of the year at 14%. Mine's $90 usually at every quarter. You're talking, it's $48 a year more in the water bill. Now you take me 14% tax bill, I'd be. a little
You'd be
crazy.
excited.
Next year, go on the model for the garage.
So next year it'll just be, because we're already at $100,000.
We don't have to
The
increase it.
increase will be just what the operating budget
Budget
increase
rate.
is. Um, all right, if we're done with that, I will close the hearing on the water and sewer, and we will move on to regular business. Skate project. Utility lines discussion.
Some emails about this, but it wasn't really clear.
I didn't see emails, I saw the pictures, so.
Oh.
So, I was like,
So I don't know if they've got an answer from
Green Mountain Power.
Green
or-
Mountain Power yet. So the original design was this square box here. For some reason, I mean, either I got the wrong glasses or something, because I'm all fuzzy. But they won't fund if the power line goes over the project area. It has to be outside of the project area.
Who will fund the Green Mountain Power
No,
or
the
the grant?
grant. So they went from this box here to this design, which you apparently have seen and,
First time I've seen it.
okay.
They sent out emails.
No.
Yeah, we might not have.
Well, through the rec,
No, I haven't seen it directly.
Oh.
okay. So basically what it does is it moves this over and bumps it out over there, which is the.
Yeah.
Like,
So we're going straight down.
right, rather than going
Mhm.
straight here and under the power line.
What is it? What is this, right? Is that?
That's a sidewalk.
Is that the
Yeah.
sidewalk they're planning on putting in?
From what?
Yeah, so,
Okay.
so the other issue is this doesn't work because it goes onto the Legion's land.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I-
curious as to whether they're gonna accept this because. Power regulations, I don't know how we got away with,
What's that?
this is the hub.
Oh, that's how, okay. I was looking in the
It was
opposite
built in
direction.
the sixties, early sixties.
Yeah, and the
65.
power, and it was built as a, not,
Shed.
Yeah, just an open pavilion.
yeah,
Mhm.
Then it got
and I know
closed
that
in.
now the rules are,
Yeah, there's a fence here. They
Prime-
can't do
yeah.
that.
primary power is 15 foot straight drop offset.
They were putting, I didn't realize they were putting a sidewalk in.
Well, so the
About
idea,
this.
that sidewalk, yes,
Yeah.
to access to there, but they want access to the road.
Well, why don't they come this way?
Well, that's one of the possibilities is to go this way. The other possibility is to pull this right tight and go here,
Yeah,
but this
that's gonna be-
would still have to be moved.
Yeah, I don't think
I think at the end of the day, it would
it's
probably
gonna
be,
come over here. Yeah, because they're gonna have to get the lead, if they don't put it on the lead.
no, they
don't-
wouldn't. I
get
think that whoever
approval.
did the drawing just didn't,
Yeah,
tried to get it out around that pole.
yeah.
I wonder why they're not coming from this power over here, that there's all kinds of power right here behind the backstop.
It comes from here, comes from the road in.
It does.
This road, this power is already here.
See the pictures.
There's a pole right at the end of the hub,
Yeah,
the
there is.
meter on it for the hub.
Yeah.
And then it goes, does it go overhead or underground? Overhead, over to the pole by the,
Back of the backstop.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what would it take to put it underground?
new line.
I mean,
Do the whole-
it's expensive to go in.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and I don't know, then we'd have to get permission from the Legion to,
I think it's free.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if they dug up.
what, to go underground?
Underground.
Yeah,
Twice as much, maybe.
So this part was gonna be on this end and this whole thing would have been
Right.
pushed in. But the only reason they can't do that is why, because,
Goes
Well-
on.
because of the power line.
yeah, but why? The power line, because the power line's gonna be over it,
Yeah,
so they don't want the power line over it at
the
all.
power line can't be over anything that they fund.
Maybe they think
Okay.
people are gonna like jump up and do something.
Yeah, well, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think it's just whatever land that is involved with the project this land has to be deeded to the town, doesn't it? Probably.
I know we had that discussion.
Like a 99-year.
Your lease,
Yeah.
yeah.
If there's the hockey rink, then that's where it's for.
Yeah, they ain't getting this trustee to sign it. I already told them 25 is, they want 50. They wanted 50 years. They gave me the rec quote with 50 years.
Okay. So the
So-
power companies or the grant is saying you can't.
You can't do
put it
that,
where this is.
right,
So then they had to readjust it to move it out of the way of the lines.
and apparently now the power lines is still an issue with this sidewalk, but I,
Yeah, I know.
they wanna keep- they wanna keep this. Section out. Where are we?
No.
This is,
So.
it's this way.
Another reason for doing
It's
this
this one.
was in case they wanted to do anything with this building, you can't build anything on the. On the area, on the land that's associated with this,
Mhm. So they wanted to keep it away from.
yeah, so here's the line here, this is the outline. This black line here. Right here is the outline of the part. But this sidewalk is in it too, so it must be,
I think it's this one right here, bigger.
Yeah.
Sure, see, it gets darker down there, and this T.
yeah, but I don't see
I
where
don't
it
see
comes
where,
back
yeah, I
into
don't.
this. I think Michelle's right, I think the sidewalk could go around here and
Yeah, they're gonna have to. What's this right here?
concrete basin, final location and size to be determined. It's a
For what?
drainage, it's
Oh,
a drainage.
Okay. When I looked at this, that was the one question I had. Is there any stormwater issue we have to worry about with all of this concrete?
Well, it's all gonna go down into it, so that must be what this
This
is.
is, okay,
This is probably a vault that goes down below this,
so that the water drains.
the water drains into it.
Tentatively, they were talking with the state. and they-
I was gonna say the state's gotta be involved,
I think it's gonna be an issue, but they've got to final.
Yeah. cause we had that discussion with them when they first came on with us.
This is the pavilion.
Or drain out by the road.
Yes.
What's that? Sure,
This is the pavilion.
that's the, yeah.
Tennis courts, pickleball
Yeah.
courts. are right
Oh,
here.
okay.
Mhm.
Now I see where it goes.
Yeah, so hub, pavilion. Tennis courts, rec. Baseball field, whatever. Yeah, I don't
So
think
is
this, there's no way this can
Is
go
this
there.
sidewalk theirs, or is that the one that we're putting?
This is the one.
When
that
they
we're
wanna
gonna
put
put
in.
Right,
Cause right
So
now,
if we
there's
move-
no
if
there's a gate over here,
right.
but no sidewalk,
Right.
so
that's
they
what
would
I
have
was-
to
Right.
Footpath, yeah.
put, yeah.
If we move this line, we would probably have to get an easement from the Legion.
I would, I don't know, I'm just thinking that if they take this out of here.
No, if.
Take this
if-
out, right?
If we move the power line, we would run it right up here.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, they're already going over here, come out of the other side of the pavilion and down through. I don't know, it's just as long of a, if not less
Is
of a,
there- Is there access? What's here on the picture?
This here
which is that,
is that,
Cause the tree is
Tree's-
apparently no good.
right, it's going good, but they're
is
putting,
there a tree
they're,
there?
they're saying they're gonna put two in. So
Well,
they're
there's a
going-
tree right there.
Right, this is drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's right.
It's not there now,
right
present.
now.
These are.
Well, it is, because it's here in the drawing.
No, I think they're putting it in the drawing to show you where they're putting the tree.
There is a tree.
Is there a tree?
There's
over
two
there?
trees. This tree is not healthy.
Supposed to show you how often I pay attention.
Well, so for this sidewalk though, this is the one that we wanted the students to use, like instead of walking down the road, we wanted them over on the sidewalk, right? And so if we move it.
Airport Drive?
They
Yeah,
were trying to, no,
No.
there's a sidewalk that's going on Airport Drive.
right,
They think they just wanted to connect, from this sidewalk here, so maybe so they don't have to go, if they're coming from this way,
Mhm.
they can come in this way, but if they're coming from the school, they're just gonna come.
If it came in here
That
and
side,
down this
yeah.
side, I wonder if they could access here. Right here.
Should be there.
I mean,
I don't see why
if they
not.
separated this.
Should've-
No, they can't separate it because here's the transition.
Yeah.
You can't go between, cause I asked Ian that, why couldn't we just come off here and go? But I'm thinking if you run this sidewalk in here,
Yeah.
they're not gonna go all the way around here to come on.
Mm-mm.
No,
They're gonna jump on right here.
yeah, I mean, it looks like it's flat right there, so why come all the way over here if you're just coming in?
Right, but we still have to connect the sidewalk.
We have to?
Well,
I mean, for anybody who's not using this,
Just what,
yes,
why is this discussion coming to us?
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
because of the
the-
utility.
Well, we just tell them they gotta work it out. Maybe
So we're not gonna
maybe
move it.
Green Mountain Power will come in from over to high school and come back to this thing, go backwards.
Can you guys hear
But they
me?
well,
still-
there's nothing.
Go ahead, Frida.
So I've been writing in the chat, but I don't know that anybody's looking at it. The
No, we're
reason-
not.
To answer your question, the reason this is coming before you is the state is right now waiting for the town's response to this question. Do you want to spend money in relocating the existing utility pole and lines? Yes or no? That's why it's coming before the select board. If the answer is yes, the select board will need to approve an increase in the project budget. That's where we're at right this moment. So that's the question the state is waiting for a yes or no answer to, and it will determine the next action by the select board. If the answer is yes, as I said, you will need to increase the budget for that project.
And if the answer is no,
Then we move on with the project as is, and we simply avoid the utility lines. It's as easy as that.
well, the as is, the sidewalk they got there isn't gonna work.
Okay, but we're not
Sidewalk on-
reviewing the sidewalk right now.
Yep.
Actually, we're not reviewing access at all right now.
Okay.
We're not reviewing that. At this point, the review is going to the federal level. And the utility lines will immediately eliminate this project from federal funds, which is what these are, $400,000 of federal funds. And the state right now is highlighting those utility lines as something that will immediately eliminate the project at the federal review level, which is where we're going next. So it's up to the town how to handle that. We could very easily move the skate park design within an appropriate allowance of X number of feet that allows us to avoid the utility lines being over the project. Or alternatively, why this is before you, the idea is being seriously considered and floated that we spend the money to relocate utility lines. So that's why you guys are reviewing this, for that exact reason.
The grant will eventually will pay for the sidewalks, correct?
Correct, and they're part of the existing budget and plan. The location and design of the final sidewalks is not permanent yet, but the funding is secured for those, yes.
Okay. Did they give you an idea what it would cost to move the lines, Rita? Do we know?
We have not pursued costing for that until we hear from the select board of what the interest of the town is. We know that it's extremely expensive to move utility lines. So thinking of tens of thousands of dollars. We don't know the number right now. The grant funders are saying there's extra, quote unquote, state language, love that. Extra money is available to cover this cost should the town decide to pursue it. However, it would apply to the grant rules, which would be a 50-50 match. So no matter what, the town is looking at ponying up some money if you say yes to moving the utility lines, which again is not a requirement. It would be optional for you. And just to throw my 2 cents in there, a reminder that the town has really no skin in this game. You do not own the property.
Right.
And in my understanding, there are no plans for that to change. So I think that should be part of your consideration on behalf of the taxpayers whose money is at stake.
Yes, there's also an easement here somewhere.
Part of this grant agreement is a forever easement. It is not 50, it is not 99 years. It is forever open to the
Yeah, I
public for
remember.
recreation. That's the language that is the federal funding language.
Which fits the,
Rec club's bylaw.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
so that's not the easement that I was talking about. There is an easement for the Legion to get a septic line over to the ball field, because they already have a leach field in the ball field. That was part of the deal with the
Skate park, or the skating rink.
skating rink, the money they donated for the skating rink.
Right.
But I don't know where that easement is. I know the tanks are south of the
Legion.
hub. They're right here in this area. On this side of the fence. Because right now it pumps over and it goes over by the parking lot over here.
Right.
But it's gotta get from here to here.
So the gate to get into the Legion from the back is over here.
Yeah, but I don't know if the easement
I do.
is here
along
or if it's here.
I don't know, Peter.
And if it's here, then we need to do like we did for the library. We need to bury that line prior to,
Putting all cement.
putting that concrete in. That way, if they ever
Well, I
decide
would
to use
assume
it, it's
somebody
there.
better be doing a search, figure out where that easement is. Or ask him,
Is they-
he might know.
I know that's not part of the conversation, Frida, but I know that easement's there somewhere.
Well, it's
There's
important to
two
be cognizant of easements and that's, thank you for bringing that up, because we will have to be aware of where that easement lies.
There's,
I mean, it's as simple as putting the pipe in ahead of time. And then when they go to use it, as long as there's a witness on each end of it, they can tie into it.
Okay. Good stuff to be aware of in advance of both projects, so that's good.
has it been, looked at to, for a better term, put this project in a mirror? And put the big side towards the east and the small side towards the west, so it leans this up, this sits here and this sits here. So then the sidewalk can come into this area. I
I'm
know you
not
can't
seeing
see
the
it.
map that you're viewing, but I can say that the state has done a site visit at the location, so their understanding is as you're seeing it, more or less in that layout. Now, it is able to change, accordingly, if we need to avoid those utility lines, there's room to kind of shorten that end and bump it out further on the other end. Again, I'm not looking at a map, but
Yeah.
I don't know about flipping the orientation or kind of mirroring what you're
We could
saying.
just slide it 5
Yes.
feet that way and it would
Exactly.
be okay.
Yeah, but you're
The
gonna-
issue,
Then you're getting
well, no, we have plenty of room between the line. The issue is this water line.
Here's a little, yeah, it sits.
But I don't know that, is that active anymore?
Oh, yeah, that's what feeds the field. That's what feeds it. There's a meter.
There's a hydrant out here.
No, there's a hydrant out here, but it was not being used anymore. But there's a shut off right here. There's a shut off right here at the meter pit.
Where's the water?
Meter
Fountain
pit's right out
thing.
here. Town water meter pit's right here. And it comes into here and then it goes this way and it goes to the hub. And
So worst case scenario, we could always come off the line on Airport Drive.
water line.
Yeah. If this needed to be replaced.
But
I think, I thought they were thinking there was a bigger line there. Steve, I'm gonna quiz you again. Is there anything other than a service line that runs into the rec field? There used to be a hydrant out behind the.
Where
Peter, I'll, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm working on something else. I'll pull that up as we're talking here. Hey, I did meet with, I was listening to the conversation in one of your, I did meet with Ian last week, and I think his concept with the skate park was to move the park slightly to make room for that electrical line. I don't know that that's what his final decision was, but that's kind of where he was leaning when we met last Thursday.
Well, and that's the plans they gave us. They've moved it and modified it a little bit, so it's not within the line.
Yeah, I think his thought at the time at least was to shift it, to try to make it move.
I think we gotta throw this back to North Star in the park committee and say. Show us something that doesn't have this sidewalk for number one, for an easement.
Well, no, that's just a drawing. The issue is they want, we could fit through here. If we move the power lines, or we could slide this probably
That's what I'm
5,
saying.
we could slide
Give it
that
some
5
options.
feet.
But
It's
we-
just an issue with this water. Jill was worried about this water line over here and not having room to dig to replace it, should it need replacing.
But we're not gonna move the power lines, are we?
I mean, that, we need to just,
that's
that's all
what- that's all
that's
we
all
have
we're
to
asked to
decide.
do right
Right.
now, so
I just-
this'll probably.
Yeah, we can say,
Make
make
back-
it work without it.
Right,
Just given all
I
the
think-
other things we're asking for the town, this seems like.
yeah, I would say
This seems
we're not moving the
harder,
lines,
right?
leave them the way they are.
It
And
just
just
seems like
work
a
around
hard
it.
sell when we're
I
asking
can't vote
for
for
like,
something to move, because I don't know the price.
but also like we're bonding for water, we're doing all this stuff. It just seems like, those things are higher
We don't need
priority.
the extra added cost.
Right,
It's
right,
already an $800,000 project.
right.
Against an $800 building. The hub, it's worth about $800.
Yeah,
I just.
do we need a motion for that, or can we just?
We can't make a negative motion, so you'd have to make the
You
motion.
go over and worship.
You'd either have to make the motion to move the power.
Do we
lines
need
and
a
we-
motion, or
I
do we
don't
just
think that
need
you
to
need
do
a vote
that?
unless you're increasing
Right.
the budget, so I think a
Right.
decision to respond to the
Consensus,
state
then?
that we are not going to be pursuing the cost of
Right.
moving the utility line would be adequate.
All
I
right.
don't feel that you
I think
actually have
that's
to
the-
vote on it. Cause there's no
Right.
action other than responding to the state who's awaiting a response.
Right,
Michelle, move the power lines or not?
no,
Joel?
No.
Then I'm a no. So
yeah,
just
you
need
have
to-
your,
I
consensus,
just,
that's
I have
a
to say
no.
no, because they don't know what the cost of moving.
I think we just need to work on the design a little bit more,
Yeah.
instead of moving.
I mean, I think if it can move to the east a few feet and get by the power lines where they are,
Or move the sidewalk to the other side.
or move the sidewalk to the other side, I think those would be the two more cost-effective alternatives.
Okay, 10-4, and I will relay that to the state this week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Peter.
you.
And PS, I was out in the digital waiting room during the check-in. Did you want me to skip my list and do it at the next meeting? Or did you want me to
You
quickly
were-
breeze through some things?
You
if
weren't on the list, but if
You
you
weren't
wanna
on the
breeze.
list, but if you wanna breeze through it, go right ahead.
Oh, I
and
thought
then
there was
we'll-
the round table at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but you're not on the list. You're next week or
oh,
next
dang.
meeting.
Next meeting.
Do you guys want a
Well-
very brief check-in on a few grant things?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, excellent news in FEMA that we closed out the 2023 event. That's excellent news. So that means the state portions will be coming to you for 2023 and 2024 and 2019. So you guys have some state money coming to you. Now it's not going to be humongous money, but any money is good money. So we're
That's right.
estimating about 5,000 for 2023, about 5,000 for 2024. And I will get back to you on 2019. And
Great.
bike ped grant, we were looking at, this actually ties into your next item, I think, intersection review. We were looking at putting in an application for an AOT bike ped grant fund for this year for
Mhm.
the Pleasant Street and North Street intersections. Because
Yeah.
Ian kind of wanted us to look at an application for, it's called an RRFB. It's a rectangular rapid flashing beacon. And
Right.
as I was putting together the application and inquiring a little more, I think what we found is that maybe the town isn't ready to put that application in. So we did not, and we will be looking at putting an application in for it for next year, which gives us time instead of rushing to a solution before we've identified the problem. It gives us a year to study that intersection. My question to you as the board is, do you want me to pursue a regular run-of-the-mill traffic study for that intersection area, which will give you a report at the end that will give you basically like, you've seen them a million times. It gives you the volume count, average speed, yada, yada, which is helpful info. Or do you want us to do a more intensive intersection study, which would be funded with a regional planning grant? And they are ready to do that for us, and I'm ready to put the application in for you if you want us to do that. And that would study more like just more detailed activity at that specific intersection, turn radius, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So
Didn't
we
just-
have a traffic study that we did last summer for North Street.
Last summer.
You
or
do, you
last
do.
summer,
You
yeah.
actually have two,
I
because
said,
I've been
yeah.
talking to your regional planners about this. So you do, you have two studies that would sort of cover this area. You have one from Pleasant Street about 5 years ago and one from North within the last 2 years. The problem with those two studies is the Pleasant Street data is relatively outdated. The North Street data covers the area within like a block, I think. But to be totally frank, the data doesn't support what we're trying to say to the state. So it would behoove us to either gather more current data or do a further intersection study, which is kind of why it's going to you guys, because frankly, I only got the RRFB idea for the application strictly from Ian. And my feedback to that was, I'd really like board review on this application to see, do we all agree that that intersection is a problem? You guys all live there. And if it is, what kind of problem do you think it is? Like, in other words, what problem are we trying to solve there at that intersection?
Safety for the kids.
Yeah, it's the main intersection that the kids cross to
To
go
get to the
to go to
elementary
school.
Well,
Right,
actually,
but
either
do you
one.
have like a speeding problem there? Do you have,
Stopping
Yeah, what the problem is that, so the kids come, well, they're short and then they come on bikes and they're lower and the cars don't want to stop for them until they're already out on the road, but the kids have been told by their parents not to go out on the road until the cars stop. And so what ends up happening is you have a whole bunch of kids waiting and the cars are like, oh, they're not out in the crosswalk, so I'm going to shoot through it. So it just becomes really dangerous. It's sort of like a game of chicken, like, yeah, like,
Chicken the egg.
yeah, like, you know, which kid is gonna head out there first and maybe get hit or not. And so the idea with the beacon is that, you know, it's not that there's always people there to cross, it's at specific time periods. And so with the beacon, it would be a warning to people driving through there, like, this is when there are people crossing, so that they would be looking for those little people, you know, close to
Yeah,
the ground
lights
on
would be
either
functional.
side, right?
Peter, we're looking at crossings just like the one over by the fire station or down here by the bank, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
And we didn't do it, did we do huge traffic studies for those, get those for grants? I think,
We didn't
I
get
think
it.
Bruce,
Get 'em for
I think
grants.
Bruce
We
wrote
didn't
those,
get- We
We
didn't
pay
get
for
the grant.
both of them.
or did he
We
get
paid for
those though? I thought Bruce got those for, or maybe it was the speeding carts.
Yeah,
so
it was
let me
huge.
But
give
I
you
guess,
some, let me
was
give
the
you some more
grant-
details about the grant funding, so it might help form your decision, right? So the funds we're looking at are a 50-50 match, so no matter what, the town will pony up half. The estimated cost for the RRFB, including materials and labor installation, all of it, would be, and the estimate comes from the federal highway, which you have to reference their standards for this particular, what they call a countermeasure. And their estimate at this would be roughly 22,000. I think it's 22,250, I think is the exact number. So think in your minds of the taxpayers paying around 11 or 12,000 for something like this, right? The other thing to consider is when you're applying for funds for this particular, what they call countermeasure, this RRFB, it triggers something that you have to start citing the federal highway suggestions, recommendations. So even though it's a state, even though it's not a state road, it's a town road, and the funds are state funds, not federal funds, this particular countermeasure does trigger that need to, you have to reference the federal highway recommendations when you're looking for this money. So when I got into the weeds of looking at those recommendations, this particular intersection does not meet them because of the two following things. It's not at exactly the right speed limit posting. That area is 30 miles an hour, is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so to trigger this countermeasure, federal highway recommendations, I think, have it at just a notch above that, 35 or 40. And the other indicator of a need for this type of countermeasure would be how many lanes that intersection is. And this intersection is a 2-lane, which is basically called a single lane intersection. And this type of countermeasure is primarily put in at multi-lane intersections where there's sort of a pedestrian island in the middle. But I'm hearing what you're saying, so the concerns are visual and timing. So do we want to just look at other countermeasures? Do we want to go ahead and apply for that countermeasure of the RRFB and just see what the state says?
I do, and I would like to, of the two, I don't know if we've ever asked the school how many students they have that estimated, it's all estimated. They must know how many walkers they have that go south and that way. I mean, when I was going to school there and before, I was a crossing guard there. Used to have a crossing guard. Beaker was a crossing guard there. Can't do that anymore.
Mhm.
But I think if we knew, okay, and put in the grant, there's so many students per day, 175 days a year, cross there with either a bike or on foot.
So that's exactly the kind of data that an intersection study would provide. So I would recommend, if that's sort of what we're looking for, is like actual data that we can point to that says, here's why we need this.
I guess looking for a data.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ask County Regional Planning, you said has a grant, so would they would pay for this study and wouldn't come out of pocket for the town?
Yes, correct. Which is why I'm
Do
putting
it.
the opportunity before you.
Then do it.
Yeah.
That's how I-
The only question I would have is if you do the study, are you beholden to those numbers? Are those numbers not
Exactly.
going to potentially lock you out of other opportunities?
Mhm.
Because you said that'll be your standard and those numbers you have to use. That'd be my only concern.
I mean, you could tell me there's 175 cars, 200 cars a day go through that intersection, but if you don't know how many kids go through, you don't sit there
Right.
for 12 hours.
Right
say-
now, the only data you have is how many vehicles go through, and that data is not supporting what we're trying to say, that that's a problem intersection. So I would really recommend the intersection study, which would count what you're saying is pedestrian, which is what your real concern is. And I
Right.
think if you could point to a number of children, that would definitely strengthen an application.
They can't do that study now, and there's no school. I mean, they'd have to
But we
wait
would have the
until
whole
fall.
following year. That's why
We've
we're
got a
looking at
year.
Oh,
fiscal year
okay.
26 to do this application.
Because they
That would give us a
didn't
year to do a
last.
real study. That's kind of what I'm encouraging you guys to do.
Because the number they had last year when they did the traffic study was during the summertime. It wasn't during school.
It
Right.
wasn't very, yeah, it didn't look
It was
too
right after
bad.
the flood.
The truck traffic was
Yeah.
So with that there, you guys look at your pictures,
Mhm.
there's a telephone pole there that's gonna block one of the signs.
No, it's not, cause that's southbound traffic, and a telephone pole is south of the.
So that won't block,
No, it won't block the people coming that way.
And if you remove.
The other one heading north, they'll be able to see.
Yeah, you're gonna have your poles like you do down here on both sides. that have
Yeah,
lights
and
on
they'll
both
flash on
sides
both sides of a pole.
Of the
Right.
pole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause Ian brought that up to me and I looked at it and it's, this one here will be behind the pole, but that traffic's coming. this
Right, the
way.
upper one.
And the other thing too is, to put one of them lights in, I've looked on Papakill's thing, and they're about 14 grand to do this.
Mhm.
And if you're spending 11 grand to the matching fund, like Frida was saying. Instead of going through all the hassle that she's gonna have to go through,
Just do
it's
it.
an extra 3 grand to get the
Just
whole
buy
light.
'em.
The town, she
Is that
asked
just
me,
one light or for both?
that's
lights?
for setup.
So,
So, and she asked me about, the town crew putting it together, putting it up, so if we're gonna do that anyways. With the
And then we
cost,
wouldn't have to wait,
incorporated
just
in
do it.
that, right, Frida, is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, this is why I love the public discussion and I like having these items on the select board. Yes, because excellent that you've already talked about the utility pole, because I know that was a real concern for Ian and he was ready to pull the plug on the whole idea because of it, so that's great. And yes, exactly what Eric is saying is right, the town will be reimbursed 50%. So if the federal highway estimate is including installation 22,000, you would get half of that back. So he's right, the town would eventually end up paying the 11,000 anyway.
So we could, if we
We could
went
just-
without a study, we could theoretically do this by this time next year be done.
We could do it before.
Before
school
school starts.
Right?
School start.
Or we do a study, we're realistically a year and a half to 2 years before we're gonna get it in the ground.
I think sooner is better.
I do
it's-
too.
It's dangerous.
well, the question is, where does the money come from?
Right.
Yeah.
Sidewalk reserve fund.
That's the other thing too.
Yeah, but that money is also supposedly, isn't that for the,
Some for
some
Airport
of it for
Drive.
Airport
Yeah,
Drive,
but we
so.
haven't done sidewalk in 3 years.
But all I was referring to is you could budget it for this budget season coming up.
You know what we have.
You could budget for it and we could
The
install it
sidewalk
next
fund,
summer
Reserve fund.
and not have to go through the hassle.
Yeah, but I think what we're saying, if.
If we're not going through the grant.
We're gonna go for the grant, and we're not gonna do it till next year. If we wanna do it ourselves, we avoid the cost increase that would be over the next year and do it now.
But we just have to find the money.
But even if we do it now, it's zero from 50-50.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, which.
But if it's twice as much, 50-50 is.
Right,
Kind of like that $250,000 slide over behind Mount Abe years ago, if you
Yeah.
went for 22,000. If we just spend 125, you'll get 50% more after that.
And we know, yeah.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
not
I
that
know-
we don't want you applying for these, Frida, it's just that if it's gonna end up costing us the same money,
Well,
Might
no,
go
this
through the
is,
hoops.
I'm so happy that you're discussing it. Ian wanted me to apply without any discussion or vote on this by Friday, and I really did not feel comfortable doing that. So I'm glad that you're discussing it. I feel like this is appropriate because we're getting a lot of valuable input and voices. So
It's a good
your-
thing he's
your
not here, we'd
consideration
slap
is
his
valuable.
hands.
What?
I said, it's a good thing he's not here, we'd slap his hand.
Well, I just feel like it's when you're spending the taxpayers' money, I really feel like this is what
Yeah.
you guys are here for, and it's important to have these discussions in full open review before you approve spending.
Yeah.
22,000 or 200,000, right? So
Right, right,
Correct.
11 or 14. A year and a half or 3 months.
well,
You know?
you
Especially
say.
have to wait for the
you
traffic
say
study.
A year and a half, you do the study and everything, and if the price goes up 20%, then you're.
Little over 150.
Right, so 30 of that is for the airports.
There's 150,000.
Yeah, but I know
Yeah.
30 is earmarked towards, for the airport because the school is paying 30.
and you got the West Street scoping study, which I don't know where those funds are coming from. That's up for you guys to decide, but it's sidewalk related, so I don't know. That seems
Yeah.
logical to me.
Can we put this figure just when Ian's back in 2 weeks, just a vote on that?
Yeah, we can, because it's new, we probably should defer it to next meeting anyway. I don't think.
Because I can't do a study until
See
at
if we
least
can-
September.
Right, and see if we can get
So
some numbers.
if,
You know
if
we
you choose
want
to
it.
do the
The thing is
study, if you choose to do the full study through the grant, Those applications are due, I think, mid-August, so you do have time to approve that in your next or August meeting if you want. Alternatively, if you just do a traffic study through the state, those are of no cost to the municipality. And that data would also be available to strengthen your application for next year. No matter what, even if you did an application this year, you wouldn't get the funds to install it this year, so another thing to consider, I think.
Mhm. Okay, so we'll move it.
I love this, all these things to save us money, cost twice as much to start with, so you end up paying the same
Same
amount
amount,
as
right.
if you just did it yourself anyway.
Yeah, mhm. Okay, so
Okay, so we'll
next
put this-
meeting.
Next meeting, we'll decide on that, Frida, and you may not have to chase down a grant for that one.
Very good, thanks.
So
You
was
may,
was there anything else on your list that you were going through? Because that was our next item of business.
Well, yeah, I guess I will tell you a couple other items. So there's the UCF, the tree grant that you guys currently have an award for. A bit of money left to spend on that, about 10,000 or thereabouts. Please remember to focus on ash tree removal. It's very important for those funds.
Okay.
Next item, your class 2, your AOT class 2 from last year. You'll be reclaiming about 30,000 of that with an invoice that I think you just approved paying tonight for paving. So that will be money coming back to you. Basin Street, a very big project, just passed a very big state review, so that's very good news. And we will be moving on to the next steps of that, which include right-of-way and procurements. So stay tuned for that stuff. And then just the AOT TAP grant for your airport drive sidewalk. Regional partners literally just sent us an email saying that they're waiting for feedback on a few items, including the budget, the F&O team, which is our contracted team, and their right-of-way. So I think we'll wait for Ian to get back to respond to that,
Okay.
but just so you'll have it on your radar so that it sounds familiar.
What, do you know the timeframe on the Basin Street project as far as when we're expecting to do that drainage?
So we know when we need to have
Well,
money.
no, because I'm asking because I had a conversation with Steve about the east water line on the east side.
Mhm.
And there's a couple of culverts there that we gotta decide whether we're gonna replace or going under them, but it would be nice to know where the stuff was going, so if we replaced it, we weren't wasting our money.
Yeah, exactly.
I
one
think
line.
that the details of the timeline of the project will become a little more clear when we have our meeting with the project manager, Pat Travers, which I think they're waiting to schedule that when Ian comes back from vacation. So really soon, I think by August, you should have some better idea. And I can tell you the application I put in for the funds for the retaining walls, which we did get, the deadline I put in at first was the end of 2028, and everybody on the team was like, oh no, put that at 2027. So I think overall the feeling is end of 2027 for construction for that. I don't know how realistic that is, but that's the vibe I've been getting. So we'll know more after this meeting.
Okay. Alrighty, is that it?
That's it for me.
Alrighty,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you
you.
guys.
Onward, revolving loan fund adjustment request for Chris and Samantha Morrissey. May include deliberation and executive session.
I don't know that we need to be executive session.
Well,
but
it
the-
said may, just if you have to,
Reading what's written.
well, no, the thing is if you discuss personal financials or
Right.
anything of that, then you have to, but if it's nothing that,
No, I mean, I don't know that do you want me to give you numbers? I mean, they asked for additional funds. The revolving loan fund agreed to give them those additional funds. With the caveat that they refinance their existing loan that they have now, which was gonna be due up in September. The original amount they borrowed was due up in September to then do a 2-point increase on their interest rate, because we had amortized it over 10 years. So at 5 years, it was the interest rate was gonna go up 2 points at the treasury, whatever it was. So what we decided to do or agreed to do was to give them the extra money, refinance the existing balance over 6 years, at 5% interest rate. And it'll be done in 6 years.
And that's, well, that's one more year than what it was gonna take. anyway.
One more year than what it was gonna be. Well,
And that's
yeah.
the revolving loan funds recommendation.
right,
And then make a motion.
Yeah.
Have they, oh, we should get your motion first, that's the question.
I'll make a motion that we approve the revolving loan funds recommendation to give Sam and Chris the additional funds, refinance their existing funds at 5%, amortized over 6 years.
I'll second that, and the question is, have they always been timely on their?
Absolutely.
That's all I
Yeah.
wanna know.
They have not missed a payment.
Further discussion?
I'm happy with it.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Alright.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Okay, so Chris,
Review of current.
before you,
revolving-
Chris, I've started the paperwork, for that. I just don't know how this all works. We may have to talk to Dan, Wormy, cause I know he's still at the bank, but I don't think he ever does anything with it, but I just don't know how it all. Okay, then I don't
Been
know.
there for
Leanne
years.
Yeah, so I don't know who,
MB.
so I don't know who then we need to talk with over
Our
there.
community,
Yeah,
yeah, I will start with Dave, who's the new branch manager, or the area manager.
yeah, just figure out what we have to do. So what I need to find out though is I'll need a number of what the amount they're refinancing plus the new amount, so I can put that in documents. Okay, okay, sorry, Peter. Next.
Is that? So we review a current revolving loan fund.
Yeah,
You don't have it?
revolving loan fund, if Chris has got
Yes, on them.
some numbers. I don't know that we need to talk numbers, but there are 2 revolving loan funds that have, their balloon payments were a couple years ago. That had come up and, hadn't been refinanced. Now,
Did they continue making payments?
what? I mean, they're intermittent, you know, but-
Technically, they're not current.
they're not, yeah, they're not current, but like,
But they-
one of them will take-
activity.
well, one of them may make a really large payment and then miss several months.
Mhm.
The other one may make a payment for 3 or 4 months and then miss, depending on busy season, whatever. So the revolving loan fund committee is like, can the select board give us direction? Should we be refinancing these? Because neither one of them have the money. One of them's shouldn't have much left,
Right.
and the other one's got quite a bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, she has paid on them. It's not like they're not paying. So they just want direction of, should we be refinancing them? Do another 5-year balloon, or do we do a 10-year amortize and not do the balloon?
How long is the? 4 now, it's been like 10 years already.
No, they would have been maybe 7 years. I forgot. I thought it was in this file.
First one,
Yeah, cause.
it was in 2017, and then the second one was on 2018.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
it's
were.
been as long as yours.
Came.
I don't wanna go 10 years.
So 7 years.
They've already gone 18 years. I would refinance it for 5 years. With either
I don't know,
monthly,
they'll be able to make those payments. One of them anyway.
there we go, executive session, sort of.
Yeah, we can do that if you want. Yeah, and then we have the 2 that are not,
Yeah, and then you got
don't,
and then one you have to deal with.
yeah. We'll just do it in an executive session.
We have executive session.
All right. Oh. Review 2023 audit review, feedback and approval.
Okay, I wanna know how many of you actually read the 106-page audit?
I didn't see it. Did we?
No, yeah. I started reading it and I get a headache because it's like, I can't,
I started.
Yeah, that's why I tried
It's
to
like-
summarize it down the way I did
Right.
for you all a couple weeks ago.
but to like look at it on the computer just hurts my head.
Even if
It's like,
paper came.
yeah. I mean, and
You
the
can
letters
skip-
in the front, I mean, I'm
You can
looking at
skip
the
all that
letters.
stuff, that's boilerplate.
Well, I was just looking at the letter that says, these are your deficiencies, or these are the things you
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
fix. Those are the things that are important.
That's really- in my place, those are the things you should be focusing.
Mhm.
And again, reminder, this is your 23 audit,
Right.
so it is dated, it's 3 years old.
Mhm.
The 24 audit, they got us some preliminary audits, ledgers stuff for me last week. Think they're waiting on this sign off before they can finalize or
Yeah.
give us.
But
the
there wasn't
check.
anything, to me, there wasn't anything huge red flags, because in 23, yeah, we weren't reconciling, and now you're up to date.
Correct. I mean,
So it was like, okay, we
Most of it-
fixed a lot of those things
Speaking
that,
with Darlene, nothing in that report made her go, oh my God, you're in
Right.
trouble.
right,
And she does this with a lot of towns, so.
right,
She said, yes, there's work to be done, and a
Mhm.
lot of that work has been done,
right.
but none of it was a red flag, like, you need to put the brakes on everything and start over.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what I felt like when I read it. I didn't go, oh my God. There wasn't anything in here that we weren't really kind of aware of. You can take that home and read it that night.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Do we need to approve this tonight in order for them to move on, or?
it would be preferable if you could, so that then we could sign, actually, he's not here all weekend, I mean, actually, you could sign it. Doesn't matter who signs it.
He's a select board chair. He can sign it as long as we all approve it. I mean, what are you worried about?
I'm not,
Oh,
just,
okay.
I was, wanted to give Jessica a chance to
Yeah.
read it if she wanted
I mean,
to,
in
but.
all
I
reality,
read
2
mine-
weeks isn't gonna change
My
a lot.
department, so.
Yeah.
When I.
I mean, I'm fine approving it. I just
Yeah.
wanna look over it
Oh,
just
yeah.
so I know what's going on.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure the work they did is, they're professionals, so I'm sure it's fine.
You didn't say close the doors, lock it up. You're in trouble.
Nope.
Still here. Here.
But if I make a motion to approve the 2023 audit,
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the 2023 audit. And it'll allow me to sign it.
sure, and I'll allow
Here, the chair to sign.
the chair to sign it.
I'll pull some together and let you know when it's ready to sign.
Any further discussion? You got it all read yet? You're
No.
almost there?
No, but I'll keep going later.
Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Mhm.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Select board roundtable. Jessica, you've been
Just one
away.
more thing for you,
Yeah.
on audit.
Hmm.
We will be required to do a single audit this year.
Uh,
We're already starting work on it.
A
Because we've
single
got,
audit?
because you have to have $750,000 in credit funds.
Oh.
You're required to do a single audit,
Right. Mhm.
so they sent us.
She left.
What it entails is they're gonna look at procedures, policies, procedures surrounding the federal funds that we receive.
Mhm.
And the big one that tripped it was the loan of the water,
Mhm.
because there was federal dollars behind that.
No, the ones that we're gonna do are the firehouse is what tricked it.
Firehouse Apartments?
Yeah, because we got that money as a pass-through.
Mm,
That added to it, yeah.
The northern borders money.
The Memorial Group?
Yeah.
So
And why are they,
Can I-
because we just
My
got the
first-
money now? I mean, didn't we
it's
got that money?
24.
They're doing-
Really? It was in
The
twenty
last thing we
twenty-four?
could do is FY 24
So if this audit costs us an extra $20,000.
easily.
Who's paying for that?
You are.
How come they aren't?
It's
I mean,
not
we're
their-
just a
not-
pass-through.
So we need to think
It's not
about
their fault?
We have to hire them to do it.
No, so I say,
No, I'm saying, why isn't,
Oh,
why
okay.
isn't Addison County
Yeah.
Commission or Addison County?
Because they couldn't be the applicant, that's why the town's involved.
so when we say it's a pass-through from now on, I'd like to make.
They said there was no expense to us.
Right.
Yeah, see,
Well,
that's,
they
Well,
might not have
initially, but
known.
it's
why I don't
triggered,
know when they come to our town,
Yeah,
because of that reason.
well, they
So
also
then-
might not have known, I mean.
Oh, bull.
They know.
Well, I think-
Oh, bull. They do this
I
all
think
the
we can
time.
make a say and say when we do a pass-through grant, any cost to us, i.e. audits.
Gets passed through.
It's passed through to you.
Will we bill you and we expect payment?
Yeah, I mean, our taxpayers shouldn't, I mean, I should say, shouldn't pay for this. I mean, do they benefit from this?
Well, if they.
No,
Because we don't get full tax rate on the building, we don't get, I mean.
We gave them land.
You four did. I
We
voted
gave
no.
them land. But I mean, that, just my point is, we've kind of bent over backwards to make this happen, and now we're footing the bill.
Yeah. Sure. Finite details.
Can we do kind of a letter to them saying, look, you told us this would be no money to us. There would be no cost. Wasn't it Elise? Is it Elise? And say, this was our agreement. And now we're being forced to pay for an audit, a single audit.
And that,
Well, unfortunately, the person who made the agreement isn't here anymore, so we don't know.
Yeah, but we all agreed. I mean, we
Right.
had a meeting on it.
That's.
I mean, so I
that's-
can't put it,
Right.
can't
that's
put it
the
on
big
her.
Part,
Mhm.
but the other part is money we got for DPW too,
Yeah.
that's triggering it.
yeah, I mean,
Every
it's a combination.
750, yeah.
So it's your fault too, Eric.
And
Yeah.
and the water money is gonna do it
Well, right, again,
guaranteed.
It's just the cost of getting these grants,
I
yeah.
just, it's
It's
frustrating.
really expensive on the.
I know,
It's
right?
all free money.
Right,
But
Until
if
it's
any
not.
federal, then it triggers the single audit.
right.
Well, if we do a single audit now, when we do the next water line, are we gonna have to have another single audit? Or is it within a certain period of
We'll
time?
be doing single audit
I
next 2 years.
think they bumped the threshold to $1 million.
Mhm.
And as soon as you receive in excess of $1 million of federal funds, which you're going to,
Right,
you're gonna have to do a single audit for every time you.
We do
budget those
that.
monies. It's not for the life of the loan. It's
right,
for
no, it's just that one time,
That's
that
my understanding, yes.
So probably two more.
that picture,
That's
that,
damn worse.
yeah, that
Federal
snapshot.
funded state money.
Money, yeah.
It's secondary.
And the letters usually say that certain percentage is federally funded money.
Right. It looks like state money, but they've gotten it
But
from the
they
federal
got it from
government,
feds.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna have to figure out where that money comes from.
Do we know what it costs to,
No, we're waiting on. a quote
And
from them.
who's-
It's just reached out to us.
I was gonna say, who's the one that's gonna do it?
Yeah, the same.
The same. Mhm,
okay, but this, it'll give us an estimate then.
Oh, yeah.
We can ask her, yeah,
mhm.
cause they just sent it to us saying, these are the things that have triggered the single audit, and this is the information we need. So.
You're full of good news.
I know, this is depressing. I'm going back to
You're not
China.
invited to meetings.
Yeah, and I'm going back to China. So, my student has been working with Chris and, collecting the information on local options tax. I sent him back to the drawing board just to see if he could collect a little bit more, lodging information. Because he was making estimates, but I was saying, we only have 3 places in town. And then there's the Airbnbs.
Airbnbs, right.
Which the Vermont tracks that because you're supposed to pay that as a tax. So he has gone back to collect that information. So then we'll know exactly what the projected revenue would be, depending on what we wanted to put forward as a local option tax. I would really prefer that we don't tax sales, like our citizens coming in town, buying groceries or whatever. So it seems like we have some options though with doing like meals, alcohol and lodging.
Oh, when you say sales, you mean like merchandise, merchandise.
Like I said, go like.
Cause I was gonna say meals and
Right,
liquor is still sales.
Right, but those are like.
Those are rooms and
special
meals,
things, Like, if
rooms
you-
and meals.
right, exactly.
But then-
And everybody else charges on everything.
Right,
I know.
Burlington's 2.5%.
yeah,
I
but
just
didn't
don't-
they just permanently change one of the taxes they were gonna take away? And I just heard the other day that they
Yeah,
kept
it was
extending
supposed to
it.
go back to 2% and they
Right, and
kept.
now they're decided they're keeping it.
Once you start taxing.
You're never coming
Yeah.
back. No, because you're
Right.
spending that money.
Right. And so, I mean, we can look at these numbers, when he's finished pulling them together. I mean, you make a lot more, but if you think about who you're taxing, it's just another tax on your own citizens. And what we were hoping with the local option tax is that it would be a tax on tourists and, people coming here to eat at, restaurants or whatever. And so if we do something like that, then we're looking a little bit more at the possibility of raising somewhere between $50,000 to $100,000 a year extra.
I would say, do you think we'd get to the 100?
Yeah, I mean,
I
just with
don't
meals and
have a
alcohol.
choice
you're
when
only
when I
50.
buy parts. I don't have a choice
Right,
because I have to buy them in communities that have, whether it be Middlebury or
Right, right.
Williston or, or Burlington, I have to pay that 1% or
Right,
on
on everything.
everything I buy.
Mhm.
If I buy a new piece of equipment, I have to pay that 1%
Mhm.
in Williston, and you're talking.
1% on a
The
large item.
United Ag and Turf or United Forestry and Construction writes an ungodly check to the state every year for that extra, or
Mhm.
to the city
Town.
for that extra 1%.
Yep, they sure do.
And I understand that. That, I get what you're saying, Jessica, but the thing is it's.
It's not fair to
it's
tax
not-
the rooms and meals and not tax everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think it's what he's saying.
And it's
Well-
people coming, you know.
It's not
on
just,
Saturday or Sunday, it's people coming to Avashon's, they're not all Bristol residents.
Right, but I mean, what I like about this type of a tax versus just your income tax or your property tax is that when people are coming in to do a big vacation here, 1% on their bill when they go out to eat or go get drinks or like stay at their hotel, they don't even notice that there are all these other taxes on there. But these are people who are coming in, they're using our sidewalks, they're using our roads, you know, they're using our stuff. And this is a way then for the town to collect taxes on people like that who otherwise you can't really tax.
So my.
You gotta put a restaurant in Starksville, so I don't have.
My wife
5%.
and I were discussing this, with that,
Yeah.
having her look at this data and stuff. And she said, we eat almost exclusively in Bristol.
I was gonna
We
say,
eat
yeah.
drink almost exclusively in Bristol, so.
You're taxing.
you're still taxing the same people.
But I'm taxing you when you go get a drink, which is, I
Or
think,
just dinner.
different,
Or
yeah.
go get dinner, but I also buy a lot of stuff at the hardware store I don't need. I just have my wife, that goes a lot for a lot of stuff that just goes.
No, I know, I would be, my family would be paying a lot if we had to pay at the hardware store too.
I
So
was
these-
gonna wait for Sebastian's data.
Yeah, we wanna wait for all of.
There's also a
it
piece
to
that
look
we need
at.
to tweak a little bit on that data, and touch base with you on that later.
Yeah, so if you can follow up with him so that we can get that. And then the other thing that he went through is how do different towns use it? So a lot of them set it aside as a separate fund from the general fund for capital investment, sidewalks, that sort of stuff. So that's something to think about. Other towns don't do that, so.
What do they put it back in their general fund?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in
I
those are
think
two.
Middlebury puts it back in, Brandon puts it in just for public works.
Yeah, they
Special
do.
projects.
Brandon puts it in capital improvement projects and keeps it separate. And then Middlebury, they just, yeah, and they
They have
just,
a downtown designation tax.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they just decide how they want, like
Bike
they're doing a
paths.
bike pedestrian path and you know, all sorts of stuff. So we'll bring this updated data to you so that you can take a look at it, but I mean, it looks interesting.
I hear what you're saying. I'm kind of leaning both ways here. I don't know what is, you know, you go over, as I always said, you know, you get this couple that's got a, you know, for better or worse, they've got a dump trailer, they're trying to, you know, the fuel oil's going right up the chimney.
Right.
The smoke is all winter long, they're trying, and they've gone over to the hardware store to buy the plastic that can use the heat thing to
Right.
shrink up over the
That's
windows.
why I don't like that.
And, you know, I don't wanna tax that and tax their fuel oil that they gotta heat themselves.
Right.
But, you know, if they're going down and get a pizza down there for $12 or $20 now, 1 cent's gonna be 20 cents, you know?
Right, so these are the things we'll wanna
Yeah,
think about, so
yeah.
he's gone
I can
back to
take- yeah.
collect some data from me and you'll let him know about this. So then he'll have all of that, and then I had one other suggestion, I didn't know how hard this would be, but. Sharon, when you send out these budgets, I look at them and like, you know, sometimes I see something that looks high to me or looks low, but I'm never really sure how to read it. And I didn't know maybe if when we do our department head roundtable, if maybe that would be a good time where we could say like, does everything look the way you would expect it to? Are there any surprises here, anything that we should talk about? I'm just having trouble like, other than saying, oh, something went up or something went down, like really knowing what's
So
happening.
starting next month,
Yeah,
you will be getting balance sheet every meeting, which that gives you a better snapshot of really what the health is. Because like you said, budgets, at the end of the day, budget is, you have X number of dollars and you said you're gonna spend X number.
right,
you're place marking it, but if you have to move stuff around, there's nothing that says you can't.
Right.
Taxpayers getting
And,
some.
and sometimes you spend that budget late in the year, you spend it early and, I don't know these things. So for me, when I see those percentages, I don't know, like, is that good? Is that bad? Is that a problem?
The balance sheet will give you a much better picture.
Okay.
There's one piece that Darlene and I are fixing right now, so it might be the next meeting, we can sort of give it to you and also explain it to you.
That sounds great. Yeah. Those were the only two things that I wanted to bring up.
Michelle?
I'm good.
Oh, I asked Eric about paving, the other day, and I saw the big paving bill, must be for
Lincoln Road.
Lincoln Road. And I asked them, because the pavers are right in New Haven Mills about doing that, there's about 100 feet on River Road that's really bad. And Eric's gonna take a look at it, and then,
Which 100 feet is that?
right on the property line. Right on.
Oh.
And then, my phone blew up and my relatives, two sisters with elderly husbands. The parade this year, first of all, it was very good. Wasn't a lot of gaps, a few gaps, but, closing down the streets. So my brother-in-law, who has a walker now, had to walk from Nurse Street down to Pleasant Street because they wouldn't let him through. And another person who texted me a long thing, they had to walk through on canes because they couldn't, it was shut down. So
I talked to you about this because Chad and I were on North Street and Colby put the truck up.
yeah, and I'm
And
good.
it was like 10 or 15 minutes before the parade started.
And
It's like-
there's still room around it.
Not for a car to get through.
No, car, correct, but
Right.
they must have been walking.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him drive down to get out of the car.
No,
You
no,
can't.
you
You
can't.
can't, yeah.
There's just too many people
Well,
and
I think you can with some thought.
there's just too much. I mean,
At 9:30 in the morning, the parade doesn't start for another.
The truck didn't go across the
road
road.
until quarter,
I don't know, I saw,
quarter after
and I
10.
looked at it and going. Wait a minute, this is not a town function, this parade. And our town crew is parked truck there.
I was asked to put our truck.
Mhm.
So like you were at his budget or somebody's budget, had to pay for Bridget to be there.
No, he
Oh,
volunteered.
very nice, thank you, Bridget.
So.
No, I mean, there was, I had a conversation with Eden about this because I said they need to really put the road closed back either at Plank Street.
Yep.
Or something, because all these cars were coming up North
Yeah,
Street,
and
the
then they were
truck's there,
stuck.
and Chad and I are knocking on doors, you gotta turn around, you can't get through. And people were asking me about handicap parking, and I said, the only handicap parking you're gonna find at this point is at the high school.
Correct.
I said, so you're gonna have to go all the way back around, but people
And you may
can't
not-
wait till last minute to get there.
I mean, I guess it's different because until we stepped foot off the fire department on corner of Liberty and West Pleasant. Cars were coming up Liberty.
And they shouldn't be, so that's the issue is that.
They were coming down,
Oh, I know.
Taylor Ave too,
Yeah.
and they were parked in the middle of the road, and
Yeah.
like, we're all sitting in the seat, and they're all parked behind
I
us.
mean, there's some other issues with the parade, and I think what would make the most sense would be. Either you all put together sort of like what your concerns are, or have the parade chair come in and have.
Yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
just thinking out loud was, maybe we have a section of I'm gonna let's call it the corner of Taylor and Pleasant. Or Maple and Pleasant, somewhere on the route, that this section of street is for handicap parking.
That
And you
could
go
be.
watch it from there,
Mhm.
when we announce.
But they
that.
would have to get there before a certain period of
Right.
time. They can't wait
When I was
until,
told that
Kids are out
Like
there.
10:15.
the four corners, and I could read it to you, that down here at Daniel's Four Corners, wouldn't let them up the hill after 9:30.
Mhm.
And they wouldn't have been able to come through earlier during the race, I think they.
right,
you
they
can
close
go-
the road
you
down.
can- No, it's closed only until after Maple Street.
Yeah, but it's
Corner
from eight
west and
until,
Maple.
whatever, whatever it is, 11:30.
12.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just-
I mean, there was
don't-
some
don't
logistics
tonight.
and some safety issues, and Ian and I had talked, and I think he talked to Bruce, he had some concerns, so I think they were gonna meet with
Okay.
them, so I would
Well,
give
it'll
your
be, it'll
concerns
be
to Ian.
interesting, cause we're losing two of our longtime members, and they're not sure, they don't know.
Longtime members on the
On the committee,
committee.
and they're not sure that it can be done all with volunteers, because it
Mhm.
takes so much time.
People were not obeying you unless
No,
you have
oh,
a
no.
uniform on.
Yeah, that's very true. They do.
Yes.
You have to be
I heard-
pretty, you have to be pretty assertive.
Well,
know.
Bridger cause he was told by the police to not let anybody through. he got verbally lashed.
I
by
bet he
probably the
did.
One that gave you the long,
I bet he did. I
yeah.
mean, there were people, the guy that got out of his car that was there right by his truck, got out, he was pissed. And it was just like, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to turn around and go back. You can't get through here. You know, there's too many people.
Road
the
closed
road's
means
closed.
road closed,
Right.
not just for everybody else, and you can go.
Right.
We're kind of close.
Yeah.
But not
And
the
then-
VIPs.
When are the banners coming?
Not part of the committee.
I don't know. that.
They, didn't go up until the 2nd, and they were promised 3 weeks. So.
Next week,
Every
the
week.
week after.
Yeah.
Of the week, okay. And because one of them,
They didn't get.
and then they got tied, the rope was right down kid level. Came from that one down and I'm like, boy.
Yeah. I don't remember that rope last year being down like.
You see how long it was?
Yeah.
I noticed it too.
Right down, light pole.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I thought they were
Well, that's
all
the
up
one
on
that
the,
got away.
Yeah.
Halfway through, that, yeah.
Yeah.
no, but even not Jackman's, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vermont construction one
Yeah,
was down on the light pole. Well, I think it still is on the light pole.
yeah.
But I thought, wow,
And that's all I.
that was low.
that's all I had.
Mhm.
I don't have anything. You covered it as far as the, I was approached by the chair of that committee saying he's stepping down, Ted Lilas is stepping down. And they're not sure what they're gonna have for
Volunteers.
volunteers from there on out, and that if we want to continue to have the 4th of July festivities, we may have to come up with a committee, but
Well, maybe the committee needs to come in and talk and figure out what they're gonna do. Or what we're gonna do.
alright. Going through that, any
Okay.
other business? Correspondence, don't have any executive session?
Okay. Do we have something other than what we were just talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
You're gonna stay for that.
2 other things.
Yeah.
You can stay for it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you can stay for that and.
Here, do
have
you
the
wanna stay for the
revolving-
revolving loan fund, or do you not need to?
No,
Okay.
just so I know what's going on.
Okay, well, you're welcome to stay for the revolving loan fund, so I was just gonna make a motion to enter into executive session. Per 1 VSA section 313 to discuss personnel matters and contract, and I invite Chris and Sharon to stay.
I second.
Favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.